Hey everyone, how's it going today? Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your day with me, whether you're just listening or watching. I'm so grateful for the time you take out of your life to be with me here, so thank you so much for that support. And this video, I'm super pumped because it's something I personally have seen myself doing, which is deciding that I can replace that high-end, sometimes favorite product, not just like a random high-end thing where I'm like, oh, I think I can dupe that. But in some cases in this video, something where I've really enjoyed it and I've used it and repurchased it a lot, but I'm deciding, hey, I can get that same experience at a drugstore price. Yes, you can replace that high-end favorite and find something still great. I'm making the case that the drugstore alternative is even better in this video, and I'm going to prove it to you by putting them all on today. And I'm still messing with my camera setup. I'm still working with things like brightness and tone. Not so much in my camera, but my light. Just trying to get things exactly how I want them for these videos. I think we're good. But I'm going to start off. I got everything in this bag here. And this was super easy. I was like going through and thinking about things I felt this way about, like in what circumstance do you like the drugstore alternative better? And a lot of these things are like newer products because I know I've done this video before, but in many cases it's something that's more on the new side. But Rimmel Multitasker, better than filters. We know that this product is fashioned after the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, and there have been many products from many brands come out that are similar to that concept or have that same purpose of being a glowy primer that basically mixes a foundation-y tone in with some glow. But this is the one, this Rimmel Multitasker, I continue to feel like this is the one that practically feels like it could replace my foundation because I think it covers a little more and it just looks so pretty on the skin when I blend it in. 003 Light is the shade, and I mean, Rimmel is one of those brands. You gotta keep a watch on them because they will come out with some products that absolutely are doing the best in the drugstore in a lot of ways. By the way, I did my nails yesterday. I know, shocking, but I love this color that I've got on there. It's 2 coats of LA Colors Color Craze Gel in the shade All Natural. We have like a Dollar Tree Family Dollar. It was on the Family Dollar side, and I believe I see that stuff at Dollar General too. I'm gonna take my e.l.f. buffing foundation brush to just blend this in real quick. But there was a video where I was first trying this out. I don't think I realized all it was doing, but as I edited, it was me seeing myself before and after for putting it on, and I was like, the skin just looks great. And of course I've got my skincare on already, so I've got that level of moisture. This adds just a little more moisture, but it's adding that glow and that refreshing kind of skin evening. It is glowy, but I've pretty much determined that it's not too much, and there are so many times where I put this on and then I just go on with concealer. I treat this practically like it was a foundation-y step, and I would not feel that same way about the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter for my skin. Maybe it's something about the tone. I don't know if it's just the perfect fusion of coverage-like tone mixed with like the right ratio of glow. I don't know, but I just love this stuff, absolutely. Ooh, I wanted to use a sponge today. All right, hang on. Next up, this Wet n Wild Bare Focus Niacinamide Skin Tint stuff with the 5% niacinamide, hyaluronic acid. This stuff is on the newer end. It's not like I've never talked about some of these things before. Newer as opposed to having been in my collection for a long, long time. And the skin tint, I have it in the light medium shade, and I would pick this over my Ilia one any day of the week. Yes, I also have that Ilia one with the dropper. I feel like this has prettier coverage and for sure better staying power. I know both contain niacinamide, and I'm not totally knocking the Ilia because it is a good product. It's gentle, it's clean, but Wet n Wild has come out with a great product here with their skin tint. It's really thin. It is going to go on with the dropper, but the dropper does function well, unlike some products. So I just kind of squirt out a little bit on every part of my face. Maybe I'll get a little on the nose there. And I just feel like being in sponge mode, so I'm going to use the sponge for this, although typically this would be a brush blend-in for me. But my skin is doing really good lately, and I don't need to max out on coverage, but I'm just going to tap this in. It's so pretty. It's thin, but yet it does have coverage. It reminds me kind of the satisfaction I feel when I use Wet n Wild's Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. But it's kind of like, it's more thinness than that and a little more coverage. Both this and the Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator I absolutely adore, but like this makes my skin look really good. I'm blending it out with a sponge. Like this is the sheerer end of the coverage you could get with it. And it's just so pretty. And I've got that glow underneath. I'm looking really evened out, but really skin-like right now. No need to go after Shape Tape when you've got the Revlon Color Stay Flex Wear Full Cover Concealer. I wear it in the shade Vanilla. I mean, I've sung this one's praises. It's won an Emily Award. It's so special for the fact that when I have this on all day, I can look at my under eyes later in the day, and they really do look the same as when this product was first applied, and I cannot say that about everything. It's a really good texture. It reminds me a lot of my Dermablend Cover Care Concealer because I have those same kinds of feelings about that one. And I'm just gonna like kind of be quick with it today, and I'm not gonna bother with a separate applicator. I'm just gonna use my sponge to like get into that. I love how this shade does brighten me up, but it's still fully capable of covering. I'm just using the point of my little Real Techniques sponge to get inward there. The inner corner of the eye. It can kind of form around my nose, the chin. It is so hard to argue with that Revlon concealer, I tell you, every time. It's so good. I find it to be easy to blend. As far as the texture, the consistency of it, I would say exactly like Shape Tape. Not really thinner, not thicker. It's just the same. They've really mastered, I think, just a very good way to make it look fresh all day. And as you saw, I'm not sweeping large amounts. I'm putting, I would say, a somewhat generous dot right in here and really not surpassing that amount of product applied. Next up, when we're talking setting powder, this new one from Wet n Wild, they've put out a soft pink shade of their Photo Focus Loose setting powder, and I totally prefer this one over my one size pink colored setting powder that I have because this is much more approachable. It's the brightening that you want, but not as much pinky pigment. That's for me personally. Some people with deeper skin tones might want to really take advantage of more pink showing up on the skin, but for me, like, this has also kind of beat out just the traditional Wet n Wild powder because it brightens more. It's really good. It just kind of snuck into their line. I didn't know it was coming. I was in Walgreens one fine day and I'm like, whoa, hello. I feel like somebody should have told me. But this just plays into like the under eyes looking the same at day's end. I was just wearing this combo yesterday of that Revlon concealer with this setting it. And you know, I'm expecting maybe there's gonna be some kind of touch up I need to do. No, it's gonna mattify, but it's gonna be light. And then it's gonna also brighten because of its tone. Much loved. Like it's new, but it's really getting in there for me. And I'm just gonna take a brush and if there's any excess, it can sweep away, blend in. Skin is looking so good. I don't really feel like I need to set all over the place with some other powder right now. So I'm just gonna leave it like this and get into my color steps. Actually, I need some coffee. Gotta update you guys on the Biddy soccer thing. She's really getting into it. It was like there was one game where she was kind of, you know, looking around like, okay, this is happening a lot faster than I was expecting. And then she's had 2 games since and she's played some great defense. She's kept things from getting to the goalie. She's been doing the racing and chasing thing and we're super proud of her. And she's doing it with a big old smile on her face. And I'm just so like, it warms my heart. So thank you for your kind words and your supportive comments. She's getting along really well with it now. Not that everybody has to like, oh, just morph into the sport they're doing. And there are still some kids that are clearly like soccer prodigies and they're flying around and all that stuff. But I mean, I'm just so proud of how far she's come. Like, I do not care how the game literally went. They don't actually even write a score down for these games. I just love running up to her afterwards and be like, Biddy, you did it. Moving on to a bronzer product. I see a lot of people on TikTok, especially talking about the Dibs sticks, and I own a couple of those and they're good. Okay. They're like a combo stick with a bronzer contour on one end and a blush on the other end. And they're very handy, and I think they might have been the pioneer idea for this stick from Physicians Formula, the Butter Glow and Go stick. This is the Berry Tan Combo stick. But Physicians Formula came out with this and they said it's going to be better from us than any other drugstore brand that's doing stick contours and cream blushes. And frankly, it's creamier and easier to blend out than my Dibs stuff. So yeah, and today I do have another blush thing that I want to talk about, but I will use this contour side, and I've used the blush side in other videos, so Maybe I can find that link to that, but I love this. It swipes on so easily. Think of the ease of swiping that Merit gives you, but more satisfying pigment. And I just love this tone. You will have no struggle blending it in whatsoever. I mean, I'm a big fan of this. And the one downside to double-ended sticks is like, I really think this is my proper contour tone, but I might still want to try different blush shades, but I don't necessarily want a different contour, you know what I mean? I'm still very pleased with the product, and it's obviously, with it being double-ended like that, it causes you to draw that comparison to Dibs, and I think this is even better. Now, it does have that scent, that butter bronzer-ish scent. I can smell it as I apply, but I can't really smell it beyond my application. Just letting you know. It is so quick and easy though. You know, Wet n Wild, I like Wet n Wild's little chubby sticks for face. Like, they're good, but this blends out even more easily. And like I said, it's definitely an easier blend than the Dibs sticks too. I tell you, drugstore, gotta watch out. Okay, this next thing. This is a mega find here. This little guy, this little no frills compact here, I got this from Dollar Tree. I kept the packaging. It's from bPure. That is a brand you really want to like get your radar on for. It's the Lip Color and Cream Blush. Okay, this shade is called Fun in the Sun. It's your red shade that everybody's gaga for. People have decided they want a reddish tone because Victoria's Secret models were wearing reddish colored blushes. Paraben-free, sulfate-free, phthalate-free, cruelty-free, vegan. I mean, it was $1.25, my loves. And yeah, the packaging is no frills, but this reminds me a lot of my Merit Flush Balm in the shade Rouge. It's that same reddish tone, and when I pick it up off of the compact, it's like, yeah, I'm getting color, but it's not so overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like, you're seeing it, but it's blending in really easily. It has a balmy feel. It's really pretty on the lips as well, if you want to see just a little bit of this going on and tinting my lips. It gives you kind of that pretty stained lip look. You could apply it more heavily, but I think that's pretty, but just see it going on. This is so nice. They've just come up with a really good formula. I would say like a couple taps in with your brush. It's going to be so manageable. It really feels like I'm blending out one of those Merit Flush Balms. But $1.25, and if you're scared of dollar store makeup and you heard everything I read on the side of the package there, what is wrong with trying this out? Couple taps in. It's a cream blush that you will not get overwhelmed by. That's my take. And they had other shades too, but I was like, ooh, that reddish one. Yes. You have got to stay on top of your Dollar Tree, friends. I've got even more coming in this video. It's so pretty. It's so fresh, like springtime blush. I'm adding just a bit more. There is no resistance to the blending. I mean, all we're doing is dabbing over it. Just going dab, dab, dab over the top. The radiance of newborn baby skin, like, hello. I love it. And I'm not too sticky. I've just got that perfect little amount of color there. I love that. That is such a gem. Then I found another like great dupe here recently. This is from Profusion. Remember I was talking about some new Profusion stuff, and this is called the Radiant Glow Illuminating Liquid Highlighter. Well guys, it's pretty much the exact same look that you're getting from Rare Beauty in the shade Mesmerize. Only takes a little bit. It's got that very same little goes a long way quality, you know? But would you rather spend a drugstore price on it? Yeah. So I've tapped it there on my cheeks. I'm going to spread it with just, you know, whatever kind of brush you got that you like for this. It's going to blend with ease and give you that beautiful, highly reflective quality. But yet, if you're worried about particles and seeing little bits and flecks and glitter pieces in it, no, none of that. Profusion, that's another brand to watch. A lot of these brands that I'm talking about in this video, brands to watch. You know, keep your eye on Wet n Wild, keep your eye on Rimmel, keep your eye on bPure, and keep an eye on Profusion. One thing I would say is blend fairly quickly, and I feel kind of the same way about Rare Beauty too. Don't wait too long, but you will get fully blended and look so beautifully radiant with that. I believe there's another more goldeny tone as well, but I really like this one called Rose Quartz. And again, it's very similar to the Rare Beauty. Next up, I'm doing my brows, and I'm using my CoverGirl Clean Fresh Brow Pencil in dark brown. You know, I love this nano pencil. Benefit makes a very, very skinny pencil as well, but this is my preference. I absolutely love this product. You guys know I've talked about it a lot. It may not be for everyone, but it can give you those fine hair-like strokes. And for me, it's pinpointing just the areas I need filled in my brows. I've realized how much time I've spent just raking a pencil over hair, and like, what is it doing? Is it really reaching the skin? This for me is very good because it's reaching the skin. And I think my mom, you know, I mentioned she tried it, she didn't love it so much, and I think she's really fully recreating a brow about every day, and for her, she just prefers the ABH Brow Wiz and Taupe. But she and I are kind of coming at it from two different needs, and my needs are just very, really pinpointed is what I've realized. So I love the skinny. Now, CoverGirl Clean Fresh, that range, does make a thicker pencil, which I also own. It's very thick. I can use it, but it's just a completely different experience. It comes with like a little brush on the other end. I do not love it as much as this. This has your spoolie on this end. I love this, and I can't believe how long this has lasted me. Like my frequency of use, and I'm still not toward the end of it. But I really think it's the amount I'm applying. I'm just putting it where I need it. And I love that. And again, Benefit's making one too, but you can get it from CoverGirl. And I don't want to come off like, oh, don't support your high-end brands. It's totally cool if you've got a high-end thing that you love and you want to buy from that brand. But I'm speaking to the people who are trying to save money, who have decided, I want to spend less on makeup. It's possible. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Here's something that's not so new that I've talked about for several years now, but the Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt, aka Express Brow, medium brown. This is what you would get if you were about to get Benefit Gimme Brow, but you want to save, and you also want a brush that's smarter, shorter bristles on the other side to give you a little more. It is the best, and the hold is unmatched. Love the way this holds. I'm just using kind of like the tip slash the longer bristles because I don't need that much product put in. But if I were doing my brow start to finish with this, which is totally doable, I would use more of the short side first, get some product in there, and then brush through with the longer side. I'm always gonna love this product. Milani Eyeshadow Primer, I mean, I don't think I even need to put this in a conversation with any other product, but we know that there are other primers out there. I no longer use Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I no longer reach for Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is it for me. This is where it's at. A tiny bit spread between two fingers. So little you probably can't even see it really like going on, but it's going on, and it's going on my lid, through the crease, and up to the brow. Now where eyeshadows are concerned, like there's a real easy one that I could talk about right now, but I talked about it recently, and it's the e.l.f., you know, the ethereal palette that's looking a lot like Makeup by Mario's. We know about that. And I was going through my drawers yesterday, and I was finding this or that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of similar to this, and I like this better than that, and blah, blah, blah. I was going on and on. But one thing that I think I could always recommend when you see a high-end brand come out with an all matte palette, whether it's cooler tone, warmer tone, some kind of mixture in between, there is one thing from a technically drugstore brand, but a little bit higher price from the drugstore brand, that you could get that would have you covered in every respect where matte shadow is concerned, matte neutrals, and it's really good quality. And this is not brand new, but it's an opportunity to talk about ColourPop's Gone Matte palette. So picture brands that have come out with maybe a cool toned all matte, or maybe a warm toned all matte. You can see the perfect gradients going down here of warmth, of slightly less warm, kind of straight up classic neutral, of rosy, of plum, of smoky to black across the bottom. All the rich shades you need, all the mid-tones you need, all the light tones you need in any all matte color family. So when you have this, and then Mario puts out yet another variety of matte neutrals, you're like, you know, I got it here. This is the best value. And if you want that in a pared down form, because you're like, I respect the idea, but I don't need that much eyeshadow, look to e.l.f. e.l.f. has this little all matte friend here, and it's just absolutely perfect. So easy to get that simple gradient, not too warm, not too cool, kind of like the middle of the road from this. But this is what I'm going to use today because I really feel like using this today. And I'm going to go to this middle row. I'm going to go to the Cuddles right there, that shade. And I've got my Profusion crease brush. And I'm just going to start working that into my crease. Blend it up as far as you want because this is a really soft shade. Like, it does work in the crease, but the effect is very subtle. So take it up as far as you want. And then you can go a little bit lighter than that. Maybe we go to You're a Faux right here, and that can be what ultimately gets under the brow and blurs your edge. Love ColourPop's big palettes like this, just in general. If you're contemplating one of these, I mean, Smokin' Roses, Stone Cold Fox, Smokin' Hot, Bare Necessities, all of those are thumbs up from me. I'm gonna work down that row a little bit. I'm going to go to Ultra Suede right here, get a little bit of that, and we begin to deepen the crease. And what I wanna show you is if you kind of choose a row and decide to stay in it, it becomes very user-friendly, very easy to make that gradient work for you. So we started it out in the crease with a fairly light shade, and now we're getting a little bit deeper, and the blending could not be easier. Okay, slightly deepened crease. And you will kick up a little bit of fallout with these. Not an overwhelming amount, but a little bit. I'm gonna go one shade down here. This is the one called Snoozin'. That's honestly what I wanted to keep doing when my alarm went off today. I was so comfy. It was so cozy. Okay, so this brown feels a little cooler than the tone of what we first put in. And look how it's just meshing in with those mattes that were first put in. And we've stuck with the same brush and we're getting a soft, defined crease. I love doing eyeshadow again. And a lot of times, honestly, I mix it up a little bit in this palette. I might go from where I first went and then I'm like, oh, let's make it warmer, or let's make it more plummy, whatever. But I'm just showing you what would happen if you kind of stuck in a color family. If you're thinking, I don't feel comfortable bouncing around, then literally stay in the lane and you will get a look you enjoy. Now we're getting dark with it. We're going down to Sleepwalker at the bottom. Right down here, your matte, cool brown, not the darkest in that overall bottom row, but darkest in this column. And I've got a flat brush and I'm going to begin patting that shade on my outer corner. Gentle pats. I love how this establishes the lift in the corner of your eye because you've got this darkness. You haven't put it all over the lid, you've put it in the outer corner, and it's merging now with those soft mattes that we started with. I'm taking a Profusion small pointed brush with nothing on it, and I'm just letting it blend over everything there. Softening, merging, easy classic matte eye happening here, but we still haven't finished the whole lid. Let's go back to the Cuddles right here. That was the first shade that went in the crease. Now I'm pulling it in. The easiest time ever, guys. I really am liking taking a shade inward here on the lid that's not like your lightest cream, but just a little bit down from it, and look how natural. And I'm just taking a slightly smaller flat brush to do that. Yay. Everyday easy matte eye, we stuck to that one row, and the blending experience could not have been easier. Now we're gonna call out the Laura Mercier Caviar Sticks and say, hey, how about the L'Oreal Lace Shadow Sticks? They are so smooth. They go on even smoother than a caviar stick, and those are good. You know, those are a good product. These have a glide that surpasses everything. Brown Abyss is the must-have shade if you're wanting something that can be like lazy liner, something that can be deep enough to give actual definition at the lash line. I'm just going to go across here. Guys, when I tell you I'm applying next to no pressure, it's officially not a fluke that, oh, they were just brand new and they're just super soft. No, these aren't brand new anymore. I've had these a while. I've used these a lot. They've been uncapped often, and I'm still having the exact same smoothness and the exact same odd kind of cooling sensation when it goes across. I've sung their praises a lot, and I just continue to. There are other good drugstore shadow sticks. You know, I like Maybelline, I like Hard Candy. Good things are happening in other brands too, but if we're talking the most ease of use, it's these. My second place one would probably be Magnetic Bronze, because this is a little softer shade, and this gives that lower lash line definition. Could you put Brown Abyss down here? Sure. but it just comes off as a bit more harsh because it's darker. This is giving that softness that's almost hard to put your finger on. What alarm is going off somewhere in the house? Yesterday was picture day for both Belle and Rhett. Biddy had hers like weeks prior. Oh, look at that ease. The ease. So that was a fun readying process. I'm like trying to get Belle's hair curled and trying to make sure he doesn't roll around after I do his hair. I'm gonna throw in one other shade here if you're interested. There's one called Ice Sparkle. And if you want like an inner corner pop, which we've done this whole like all matte look and now we're getting kind of glitzy with it. But look, that brightening pop, you can't miss it. It's the way the color transfers off the stick so easily. You're not tugging at your eye one little bit. If you're one who feels like you've got aging eyes and the last thing you want to do is drag a pencil across your lash line, get a lace shadow stick. It's going to immediately apply like it's been smudged, you know, like something artful and soft has happened there when all you've done is taken this chubby stick across the lash line with hardly any added pressure, and then the job is done. I love those. If somebody asked me, all brands included from high-end to drugstore, what's the easiest to apply shadow stick, it would be these. Now what I want to see them do is branch out color-wise more. I would love to see them come out with some deep jewel tones. Moving on, I said right at the start of the video that there have been decisions made regarding high-end favorites and the shift to a drugstore alternative. And when I had my eye infection, I had to get rid of some things that I had used recently. And one of those things that like the day the eye infection showed up, I had used Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water mascara. And I'm like, well, I guess I got to get rid of that. And what I realized was I could get the same experience, the same tubing mascara I can actually count on from e.l.f. Lash Extender. You can get it from e.l.f. and not have to spend the Cali Ray money and not have to spend the Thrive money, the Tartelette tubing money. You could get it here, and I really like what this does for me. It's a rubber bristle brush as opposed to the Cali Ray traditional bristles, let's say, but I still get good separation, and I've been wearing this a lot lately. And I had tried it before, but it was a recent empty, like I had run out of it, and I think I'm just gonna straight up convert to this. It's just nice to know that it's a tubing mascara I fully feel like I can trust. Some I feel like still manage to get pigment on you at times. This one really has flawless wear. So I can put it on those upper lashes. I can get it down here to the lowers. You know I'm trusting something if I'm putting it down here. I know it's not going to go anywhere on me. And bottom line, I think Cali Ray was able to do more for me than was even necessary on my lower lashes. Especially by the time a tube of Cali Ray gets a little age on it, it can lay down more product for some reason on my lower lashes. Like it just thickens up a little bit and applies in a more thick volumizing way than I'm even wanting on my lower lashes. But that was pretty much its job in my makeup routine. And this, I feel like I do get a more defined look, but it can build if you want it to. See, a good, nicely defined first coat, but your buildup is easy, and my eyes, you know, coming off of the infection, I feel like I've wanted something that wasn't all fumey. You know how some mascaras just, you feel the fumes of scent? This doesn't have that, so it feels kind of sensitivity friendly. But getting down here on the lower lashes, it's giving me about what I want, just with one little coat there. So yes. Thank you, e.l.f. We're gonna move on to lips. I've got a little remaining from that dollar store cream blush. Like it really kind of stained my lips, but we're gonna go over that because I got a couple things to talk about lip-wise. Hard Candy's lip liners. These are very comparable to Buxom. Now they're not cut the exact same way with the way the tip is. Like this is a very standard thickness for a retractable liner. Buxom's are more of a teardrop shape, and I do like that thickness. However, texture is almost exactly the same, and then it also has the little brush tip at the other end, which can kind of transform your lip liner application into a little something more. You can blend out that color and make it take up more of your lips with more ease, make it practically like it's a lipstick. For staying power that surpasses both of those, I would say Revlon Color Stay, but these are still one of my top staying power lip liners from the drugstore. And I've got this shade called Boyfriend that I love so much, so it's kind of brownish. I'm gonna fill in with this. Glide is easy, but I know a lot of people like the e.l.f. Cream Glides. I like the e.l.f. Cream Glides. $2 lip liner, yeah, they're good. However, they don't last very well, and neither does the Maybelline Lifter liner. This is gonna go on really smooth, but it is gonna take me through majority of the day. And I'm trying to get back to my nonstop water drinking, and still gets me through. I'm applying and I'm also filling in. Again, the color is Boyfriend. It's their brownish shade. All right, and if you wanted to, you got that brush. And the brush can go and, like, while it's freshly applied still especially, it can kind of smooth it around, shear it out. Like, that's great. It's a great look just on its own. But then we have another dollar store thing. It's this bPure lip jelly. The packaging is gonna look like this. Paraben-free, sulfate-free, phthalate-free, vitamin E, rose oil, avocado oil, raspberry oil, apricot oil. It's vegan, it's cruelty-free, and it's $1.25 at Dollar Tree. And this, my friends, feels just like a Tower 28 gloss. This shade I got is called Rose, but I was like feeling the texture of this, and then I went to my Tower 28 and I'm like, yep, it's that thinness. It's the gloss for people who don't like the feel of glosses at all. Okay, so I'm gonna put some of this on. I'll swatch it for you too afterward. It's so pretty. It's such an everyday shade. Just add a little glaze of shine here. She's got pigment, but she's just very thin. So hydrating, feels so softening. To swatch it out, you can see it's got color. That's me where I stained my hand with the red blush. But see, you are getting fullness of color even without a lip liner underneath. But it's that beautiful thin quality that's very enjoyable because your lips don't feel suffocated, but it's not so thin that it feels like a straight up oil that's about to invade the rest of your face. $1.25. I mean, I love Tower 28 and I love all that they stand for, but if you are trying to live on a smaller beauty budget, it's possible, okay? It really is. And that is my finished look today. I absolutely love it, from complexion to eyes to lips. It turned out to be something very everyday for me, but it wasn't so much about like, let's show you a wild new look, but it was really focusing product to product on how it's comparable to something higher end. And in basically every case, how I like it better than what you're paying triple the price for. So yeah, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you and I love you. I'll see you again soon. Bye.